Okay. Thanks for getting on, you guys. The week before Christmas. I don't know if you're like me. I'm so not prepared. I still have to start shopping. So it's going to be a busy week. But I still can't believe Christmas is next week. It's insane. So some things I want you guys, like some announcement type things for you guys, is if you haven't planned this out on your calendar yet, Super Saturday is January 9th. Depending on where you at, sometimes they have it on that Sunday. So most of the time it's on the Saturday. Sometimes they have like a Super Sunday instead of a Super Saturday. So depending on where you're at, it might be Saturday, it might be Sunday. For us, if you're local, we're having it in Fargo on Sunday. I think we have like the details and everything figured out, but I'll be posting that when we have like the link and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't know how to check out where to go to check out like where your Super Saturday is, if you go to your back office, it should be under like the breaking news. There should be a tab somewhere in there that says how to find your Super Saturday, and you can just type in like where you're at and it will show you. I highly recommend going to these. They're like mini summits, especially at the beginning of the year, because they're going to go over like just a ton of stuff to get you like ramped up for the new year. They'll probably go over stuff. I think they even announce, don't quote me on this, but I think they announce like the Success Club trip for next year in this January one. So there's a lot of fun stuff that they do. So I would for sure go to that. Hammer and Chisel is still on sale for $160. So that's what I would be, if you're doing that workout, I would be like inviting people to that if you feel like they're ready for that. You want to make sure you guys hit Success Club in December. And why I say it like even more in December is because in January, when all these people flood in that they want, like all of a sudden they want to get healthy and fit and lose weight, they start seeing all the infomercials on TV, and they go to the Beachbody website, and there's going to be a ton of free leads. So if you're not hitting Success Club, you don't earn those free leads, and there's going to be a ton of them. It's like free customers. So you really want to make sure at least to hit Success Club 5. I believe it's Success Club 5, and you get free leads if you're an Emerald and above coach. It might be 10. Or 10 is for, I'll have to check into that. I can't remember if it's Success Club 5 or 10. They switched it. But is it 5 for just regular leads? Okay. So make sure at least you are hitting Success Club 5 and are Emerald, I believe, to get those free leads. So that's huge, because if you think about all these people all around the world that like, you know, Beachbody's huge. So you want to make sure you do Success Club. And then the last thing I want to talk about is goals for the new year, because I'm doing something a little, I'm going to shut down my Facebook because that's really annoying first. I'm doing something a little bit different with my goals for this year, because I know if you guys are like me, and you can't see me, it's kind of discouraging to get to the end of the year and look at like that list of huge 10 goals that you wrote out, and like not being able to check some of them off that you didn't accomplish. Like it's defeating. Like it's defeating for me to look back. Like I have years of pages of like goals that I've written, and some of them, I would say like half of them I haven't achieved yet. And it's defeating because you go into the year with like super high expectations, then you end the year and you're like, what the heck? So what I'm doing this year is I'm picking one big goal, one big business goal for the year. And I'm going to pick a business goal that's going to help me achieve like many other goals. So like, it's probably going to be, I don't know if it's going to be like an income goal or a rank goal, but I'm going to make sure that goal is going to cover like us like working towards being debt free, or us like buying a new car, like whatever those like family type goals are. I'm going to make sure my business goal is big enough to make all those goals happen, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like the push goal, I guess you could say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one big business goal, and then every quarter I'm going to create small goals that need to happen every quarter to work towards that big goal, if that makes sense for you guys. Yes. It's kind of different. I'm trying a new thing. I don't know if it's going to work, but I feel like focusing each quarter on little goals will help you achieve the big goal. So you just have to, it's almost like reverse engineering, like it down. So like then every quarter, like the months in each quarter, you would break down to like what goals you have to achieve that month to make your quarter goals happen. So you're basically breaking them down into three levels. If you guys have questions on that, maybe I'll make a video when I like sit down and actually like create my goals on how I'm doing that for you guys too. But that's what I'm going to try instead of creating like 10 huge goals for the year and kind of just like not knowing what's going on. So that's what I'm doing for goals. I also wanted to talk a little bit about, if you guys haven't seen that video I posted yesterday about believing in yourself, I think this is huge. And we talked, some of my diamond coaches yesterday on our Zoom about it. And it's really going to be like your belief in yourself and your belief in you achieving diamond or star diamond or elite or whatever like goal you're working towards. Your belief in yourself is what's going to either like move you towards that goal or it's going to hinder you from hitting that goal. And that's like, in that video, I said, like, I believe in you guys so much more than probably you even believe in you guys. And I haven't even met half of you. But you guys have to believe in yourself that much more, you know, because nobody's going to do it. Like, if you don't believe in yourself, how is it going to happen? You know? So if you struggle with believing that you are a diamond coach or you are 2-star or 5-star or 10-star, that's probably the type of PD, personal development, you should be reading. It's stuff that's going to help up your belief in yourself. I can look at some personal development books that I have that I feel like help with that. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'll post some down below too, or in our group for different books. But I know that's something that when I even struggle with it too sometimes, where I'm like, am I really worthy of this goal? Like, am I really working as if I am this rank or earning this much? And that's what we have to do. So like, if you're almost a diamond coach, you want to start envisioning yourself as a 2-star diamond, because you're already working towards diamond. You're already almost a diamond coach. So instead of just like limiting yourself at that, start looking at what your next goal is. And it should be 2-star. So start acting as if you were 2-star. What would 2-star coaches be doing? What activities would they be doing more of? And those are the type of things you want to be adding to your to-do list every single day, and start acting as if you are that coach, if that makes sense. So you want to start seeing yourself past like your immediate goal. So I feel like I was kind of rambling on that, but I hope that makes sense. So like, if you're almost diamond, I want you to start acting as if you're a 2-star diamond coach. You're already a diamond coach in my eyes. Everybody on here, if you're close to diamond, you're a diamond coach. So now we want to work towards 2-star. So we want to help our coaches get to diamond. Share with them what you did to help you get to diamond, and just start believing in yourself and acting as if you are that coach, because they're gonna act as how you act. Does that make sense? They're gonna believe like as much as you believe. So if you don't believe in yourself, how are they going to believe in you and in this opportunity if you're still kind of like, you don't believe in your goals, if that makes sense? And I don't know, like, it's a lot of personal development, but that's a huge part of what we do is personal development. And you guys, like, I truly believe that consistency obviously is huge with like the core activities, but the belief part is huge for moving your business forward. And that's what can stop a lot of you from moving forward and making you feel like you're stuck because you feel like you're not worthy of this goal, or all the other things that our brain likes to tell us. So that was kind of my ramble about that. Okay, what are some things Star Diamond coaches do daily? Honestly, not much, Brandy. I do the same thing. Like, I do my 5-3-2 every single day. Some days I do more. But honestly, the thing that I probably do more than a diamond coach is I'm checking in with like our team. Like, I'm doing team calls. I'm doing team videos all the time. Like, if you have a smaller team and you like don't have people that get on a team call for you, do team videos. Or really, I feel like the thing that moved me forward and like made me feel like a Star Diamond like coach was when I started like getting on, and I would host a couple misfit calls, or like you guys can host our team calls and start small. And it's super scary to do. But if you think about like what in this business that you're really good at, like what could you do in your sleep, or like what activity have you really perfected, like sharing that. Or if you have an aha moment that you feel like has completely changed your business, getting on here and sharing that with everybody is huge. That is like a huge leadership step. And that's kind of what, when you're a star diamond, you're not necessarily doing anything different. You're just probably doing a little bit more. You're checking in with more people because you have more coaches, you have a bigger team, you're maybe talking to more people. That's pretty much it. It's not anything necessarily like different. It's just you're maybe doing more. You're talking to, like, following up with more people, and you have a team to check in with every single day, if that makes sense. Any questions that you guys have that you want to like go over for the end of the year, or struggles or anything? Well, this is going to be a quiet call if nobody has any questions. I wonder if I have anything that I can think of.
I guess to just kind of bounce off of that a little bit more, what are things then, like, so let's say you don't have a team that you can be doing yet, like Robin and I run our team calls, but half the time it's just us on it. What are like, I keep on trying to just do little things every day, or like make myself more accountable, but is there anything else we could be pushing ourselves to do to help ourselves move forward, if that makes any sense?
I would for sure get used to doing videos. I know when I first started, it took a long time for people to actually get on, like, even my team calls. Like, honestly, this year is probably the first year I've been super consistent with it, because people have actually been getting on. But when I first started too, a lot of people didn't get on, and it was me talking to myself, which is fine. But it's like, for me, I would have rather have just made a video talking to people and then uploaded a video for people to watch on their own time, if that makes sense. So like you guys could do that. I mean, it's kind of the same. If you're getting on a Zoom and you're recording it and you're talking, you can kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to one of my coaches yesterday too about how, like, just creating videos of little aha moments you're having, whether it's with your like personal development, or maybe like I just said, you know, like any of those things where like you feel like it could help somebody else in your downline, or somebody else, like making a video and then sharing it, because you don't know necessarily who's going to watch it. And if you're consistently doing that, you don't know what discount coach is randomly going to be like, okay, I'm ready to work this business, you know? So like posting videos and just getting used to like sharing what's going on, and that you are here as a leader and doing those things every single day will hopefully help them see that. I know something else I feel like I was talking to somebody about too is not focusing on like people going inactive. I don't remember who it was. I wonder if it was, I don't remember. But like for me, because I know it's super defeating, you guys, when you have like a smaller team and you have people dropping off left and right, it's defeating. But I have that happen too. Like it doesn't ever necessarily go away. Like if I were to go in my back office, I think I have like 16 inactive coaches. 16. That's like a mini team. Like, so when you go in and you see those coaches that are inactive or they're quitting, like we have to like focus our energy on your 20%, your coaches who are sticking with you, not the coaches who are falling off, if that makes sense. Because I know there was probably a while where I was like, when I go to my back office, I'd look at that and I'd be like, who is inactive? Like, and I'd always be focusing on that number of people who are inactive, and that's what would keep happening. So when you're looking in your back office, or if you're struggling with like people quitting, or just feeling like, well, this person's probably going to quit, or I have so many coaches inactive, how am I going to do anything? You know, like start putting sticky notes. I've been on like a sticky note rant lately, but putting sticky notes around with like affirmations, and like you have 20 active coaches, or like those types of things around, so you're not necessarily focusing on the negative. Because if you're focusing on the negative, you're going to attract more negative. so that was a big thing that I know. I feel like I've been talking to a lot of people a lot about that, about how to get out of like what to do if you have people quitting, or like what to do if you have inactive coaches. And you really can't, like, you can still be there to support them, but you can't necessarily like make them do anything, you know, if that makes sense. You just got to keep focusing on bringing on new people and bringing on rock stars, and start just like law of attraction, being that coach you want to be, and attracting those people that want to live that lifestyle you're living. I love how you guys type instead of ask. Okay. How is the best way to invite others to a sneak peek into coaching? Ask them. I have a really simple, and it depends on the person. Like if you've invited them before and they've done it, like I would just keep inviting them and just saying, hey, I'm running a sneak peek again this month. I know you were in it last month. Would you be interested in joining us again? Or if it's somebody who you haven't talked to before, like just letting them know like, hey, I'm running the sneak peek into coaching. I think you would be really awesome at it, or I think you would really enjoy it. Would you be interested in joining our group? Like I keep my invites super simple. They're like super short, which is funny because when I started, they were probably like this long, which is probably why I keep them super short now. But keep them simple and to the point. I think sometimes when we beat around the bush, it makes us seem not confident in inviting them. So if you just like put it out there and ask them and let them decide if they want to join or not, it's kind of up to them, but we just have to ask them. Did that answer your question? Yeah. Okay. You guys can really unmute yourself. Okay. What can I do if I'm not ready for before and after photos or progress photos to get the word out there? I don't have a great story. You're lazy? Well, I don't think you're lazy. I would say just start sharing your progress. I know when I first started, I still don't have like big before and after pictures. Like I think since I've started Beachbody, I've probably gained weight because I've gained muscle. So my before and afters aren't like somebody's who's like, oh, I've lost 100 pounds. But you can share those progress pictures too of other people, other coaches who have lost a lot of weight. But I think if you're sharing your progress every single day, like just got done with my workout, and whether you want to post a selfie of it or post like a move of it, make sure you're posting it of yourself instead of like the picture of the CD or like that kind of stuff. Like I know it's uncomfortable to share sometimes, but if you're sharing of you after a workout or something like that, that's going to help at least get the word out there more than just a before and after. And sharing like small victories too. Like if you're not comfortable sharing your before and after yet, but you're in jeans that are way smaller, or you have a pair of jeans that you used to wear that are like falling off of you, like take a picture in those jeans and share that they're falling off of you. Or like sharing non-scale victories are almost more, I think, more motivational than like, oh, I lost 20 pounds, or here's the scale, I'm down 20 pounds. Not that that's bad, but not everybody loses pounds versus inches. So like that can be a whole nother call. So those are different things that I would do, is just share your workout stuff. And if you have any non-scale victories, because those are huge. And they can be anything. They could be anything like if you used to be somebody who drank like 2 pops a day and now you're drinking 0, like that's huge. Like sharing those little things like that, those are parts of your journey. And they're not only like, it doesn't only have to be physical stuff. Anyone else have anything they do that if they haven't shared like their before and after yet, what you do? No?
I get a lot of traction on sharing personal development stuff.
Yep, that's huge. And I know I talked with somebody too. I wonder if I think it was on somebody else's team call I did this week. But when you're sharing your personal development, like sharing why you're sharing it, if that makes sense. Like if you read something and you're like, oh my gosh, this is life-changing, or this really resonates with this part of my story, like sharing that part of your story with it. So it's not just like a quote or just a picture, you know, because I know like when I first started too, I would just share like quotes of like my personal development. And I've noticed this last year when I've actually been sharing like a quote with whatever it is that I wanted to share, but then I go into like why I'm sharing or like how I like what it means to me or that kind of stuff. It gets more traction and people can relate to it more than just the quote.
See, like I got a lot of traction like on my before and after pictures, but now like lately, you know, when I would show like when I was really big, you know, then there's some people that would message me and be like, hey, I'm sick of seeing your fat ass and all this and that. It's like, seriously? Okay, if you have nothing better to do than put other people down, then just unfriend me. But you have to keep persistent and keep doing what you're doing, because eventually somebody's going to realize that they can do it too. So, Carrie, I know you got to quit comparing yourself to me. You have to look in the mirror and compare yourself to yourself and do the best that you can. I know it's hard, but you just have to keep doing it. So now I feel bad that you compare yourself to me. So
I think we all struggle with like comparing in some area of our business, and comparison is like the devil, you know, like you're not gonna ever move forward if you're constantly comparing yourself to somebody else and like, oh, they're farther in my business, even though they are farther in their business, even though we started on the same day. Like we're all here for a reason, and we're all at exactly like the exact spot in our journey we need to be for whatever reason. So like comparing to other people doesn't really help you at all, you know? And I can't believe that somebody would message you, Prisha, and tell you that. That's horrible. I would have blocked them.
No, I just messaged him back and I just told her, I said, I'm sorry for making you feel uncomfortable about yourself, but because I'm proud of myself from where I came from, it's not going to stop me from posting my progress and encouraging others. So
that's awesome. That was like, it's perfect. I would have said probably not as nice, or I just wouldn't have said anything. So Carrie, I have a question for you, and you don't have to answer, but this is something to think about. Why don't you feel like you have a great story? That's something to just think about, or even think about what your story, like what has happened in your whole life that could be part of your story. Because I always thought when I started to, like, I didn't have a huge weight loss story. Like my story, it keeps evolving all the time. Like now it's evolved to like for having like, it's just crazy. It evolves from all over the place. Like I used to be a broke college student, like working a bajillion jobs, and I was still broke. I don't know how that works, but that was that part of my like story. And now it's evolved to like living through a miscarriage, and now we're pregnant again. And like your story is constantly going to evolve. So it's never like, you can't say you don't have a great story, because your story's always evolving, if that makes sense. So like look back into your past, like what have you conquered that you can feel empowered to share? Like what have you gone through in your life that you can share, and that can be a part of your story, but your story is probably always going to evolve. There's not like a before and after your story, if that makes sense. Kind of like it's hard to have like a before and after, because we're always like wanting more with our health and fitness, if that makes sense. I gained weight because I ate whatever I wanted and didn't do anything about it. I was that girl that always said if I don't like it. Okay, so that's part of your story, like sharing that you were that girl, and how are you changing it? That's what I would say for that. It's kind of weird because you're not here. Well, you are here. You can hear us,
well,
but
she's at work, so I'm guessing that's why she can't really talk. But one thing I've noticed, Carrie, that might help you is even on your Facebook page, just go like even back to the what number can I call it?
I'll look for it. I have it somewhere.
Okay, one thing I've noticed is about your Facebook, Carrie, is go back to like the beginning of even December and look at your posts. I mean, before it was you would hardly post it out. Now you're actually posting encouraging things and things about workout and things about food. You've changed that way because you've grown in that way. You realize what is healthy and what's not healthy and what you can do to change you. So, I mean, even in that, just the smallest things, how you have changed your lifestyle, your kids' lifestyles, and, you know, even your husband. I mean, I talked to you, 2 months ago, and your husband was like, he thought this was a pyramid scheme. Hello, he's realized it's not now, hasn't he? Who else has a coach? Your husband.
That's very true. I know I've gotten like starting to share those types of things, and I think it was Bonnie Ingalls had said that she does, like, when people give her like objections like that, or you have like somebody who thought it was a pyramid scheme, like sharing about it publicly instead of just like keeping it to yourself, or like if somebody says like it's a pyramid scheme in a message, like just typing it to them, like sharing those objections people have like on your Facebook page so everybody can see it versus just like the person who said it. That's probably not really, I don't know. That's kind of like, if that helps you with that, like if that was a huge objection your husband had. Anything else? Any questions or anything that you guys feel like has been working really well, like this last month in your guys' business? How is everybody doing with Success Club? That was a nice face. Okay, so Success Club we need to nail down. 2, good. You're on the board. You still have lots of time. We still have a whole half of the month left. I would say my biggest tip is right now, like if you haven't been sharing workout stuff, start sharing workout stuff. Start like, not like 24/7, but when you work out, share a picture of it. Like even do like a healthy meal every once in a while. That way, if you do that from now until even through Christmas, after Christmas, all those people who are going to feel really crummy, they're going to remember seeing your stuff all the time. So that's when I would like, that chunk of time after Christmas is when I'm going to like follow up with all those people who have told me no like all year, and just like, check in with them and see if they have any health and fitness goals that I can help them with for the new year. Sorry, hiccups. And go from there. Because you want to try and follow up with people when, like, it's hard to follow up with people before Christmas because all they think about is Christmas. But when it's over and they feel really crummy because they ate too much and they've been really lazy and now they're like, they just don't feel good. Following up with them then and asking them if they have any health and fitness goals that you can help them with for the new year. It's hard for people to say no when they don't feel good, you know? So like making sure you take that time after Christmas to follow up with people. I obviously would still do follow-ups and inviting through now, like keep doing it.
Laura, not to put you on the centerfold here, but one thing that really, really helped me, and I'm sure she would do it for you guys, is I just had her peek at my Facebook page and be like, hey, is it like a complete mess? Is it this? Is it that? You know, and she's honest with you. She's open with you. And she's like, hey, guess what? You're posting like way too much. I think I had like 8 posts in like 3 hours. So, I mean, yeah, I tend to get just a little Facebook crazy, but you know, that's another one where Hootsuite actually really, really helps. You know, you get all these great, amazing ideas, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I gotta post. Don't worry, I do it all the time, but you know, Hootsuite is really, I really like it. It's calmed me down a little bit, but I'm sure Lauren would absolutely love to look at your guys' Facebooks, and she can give you advice and tips. Right. So not to, you know, put more work on you, but it really, really helped me. So that's just another option if you guys are questioning whether or not you're posting enough or not enough. So I'm sure she'd be willing to help you guys because it helped me. So
right. Yeah, let me know if you guys want to message me and you want me to take a look at your page. So I know that's the biggest thing is my dog came in and like super yawned really loud. Your posting has to be like not that it has to be perfect, but like Prisha had a lot of good posts, but they'd be like boom, 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 all in like an hour span. And you can, like, for me, I maybe post, I would say my max is 4 times a day, and it's like every 3 to 4 hours. So like if you have good content you want to post, like I put a lot of my stuff in Evernote. You can have it on your phone and you can have it on your computer. And like, if I have an idea that I want to post about, or I saw somebody else post something and I was like, oh, I should post something kind of like that or something like that, I'll write it up and then like post it, put it in like Evernote. That way when I want to post it, I can just copy and paste and post it with a picture or whatever. So if you guys have questions on social media stuff, I can totally check out your pages because it can kind of get overwhelming. Anything else? No? Oh, this was great motivation. You're welcome. I'm glad it was helpful.
She won't announce it, but she's pushing for diamond.
Good. Where is she at for diamond? That can totally happen.
She's emerald right now. Her and I were both pushing for diamond at the end of the year. I think now, for me, for sure, I've pushed to be diamond by June. But, you know, it's a rough time of year for people, so we understand that. But for sure by June, I think we're both going to be diamond. So
I would say move that up to even sooner. Here's why. Because if you give yourself until June to get to diamond, you won't get to diamond until June. You know, like if you give yourself, I will be at diamond by February 14th. I'm just throwing that day out because it's the next big holiday after all these crazy ones. You will push more to hit it by then than you would if you were going to hit it by June. Does that make sense? Like
yeah.
You give yourself as much time to hit the goal as much time as you like allow yourself.
See, our goal was the first of the year, and I had 11 coaches under me, and all I needed was one more emerald, and I would have been diamond. But I'm going to piggyback you. I've lost 6 or 7 coaches going active this month. So it's very, very hard. It's a kick in the teeth, and you sit back and you question yourself. I'm not going to lie. I've done it. I'm doing it. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So I can
tell you it doesn't get any easier necessarily because you're going to have – I've had diamond coaches quit on me and they were diamond. So, like, you get to a point where you just have to stop focusing on the inactive coaches and you guys have to constantly be adding new people to your business. Like, I don't care if you're almost to diamond and you have, like you just said, like, you have enough coaches and all you need is an emerald and you kind of sit back. That's when crap hits the fan, you know, like people start quitting and all that kind of stuff. So we just have to constantly be adding new people all the time. But don't get yourself down. Like, you learn now.
And I mean, I made the mistake of messaging all of them and being like, help, what's going on, finding out their situation, and basically crawling to them, begging for their help. Don't do it. Because they have to want it. You basically have to bless and release them, because if you don't, you are going to beat yourself up over it. You're going to blame yourself, and I did it, and it sucks. So try not to beat yourself up. If you see in that left-hand little screen of your computer on your back office, you have 6 inactive coaches, don't beat yourself up about it. Maybe find out what's going on and see if you can help them. If not, then bless and release them, and that's all you can do. So
I think my thing with that too is you don't want to convince people to work this business. And this is the same with I'm probably going to get cut off. You don't want to convince them, because then you're always going to have to keep convincing them. You're going to have to convince them to stay active. You're going to have to convince them to work the business. You're going to have to convince them to do all this stuff. And you guys aren't like, you can't make your coaches successful if they don't want to work. You know, like, I can't make you guys successful if you aren't putting in the work. I can give you everything I know. I can give you all my time. I can give you all my resources. I can give you everything that I feel like has made me semi-successful. But if you guys don't put in the work, I can't make you successful. And that's the kind of like mindset you have to have with your coaches too. Obviously be there, help them, mentor them, but you can't make them be successful, if that helps. And that kind of takes like the weight off of your shoulders, knowing that it's not me who's making you successful or unsuccessful. It's up to that person. I hate when there's only a minute left because I never know when it's going to cut off.
Of course. And then it starts to get good.
I know, right? Well, thank you guys for getting on. I'll just end it because who knows when it's going to cut off. If you guys have any questions, you can always, actually, if you have questions, post them in the team page because then we can, if there's enough of them, I can just make a video. If you want me to check out your Facebook page, you can message me and I will be more than willing to do that for sure. Otherwise, have a great Christmas because we won't be having a team call next week because it will be Christmas. So I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas. And if you need snow, I hope you get snow. If you don't need snow, I hope you don't get snow. So Merry Christmas, you guys. And I really appreciate everybody getting on. So
Merry Christmas, Lauren.
thank you. Okay. Oh, I need to end. Stop the recording.